Hi, I'm Dr. Pamela Lewin, and today I have a special treat for you. I will be reading the story of Dolly Do It. The title is Dolly Do It and the Improbable Tasks. Dolly Do It is a procrastinator, but not intentionally. She simply forgets she has begun one task and is distracted and moves to another, making completion of any of these tasks improbable. She forgets to pay her bills, water her plants, and take her dog Flossie out for a walk. She becomes frustrated at the results and sets out to help herself with a very positive outcome. Dolly Do It lived all alone. Alone, that is, except for her dog Flossie. Although she was always busy, she never seemed to get things done. "Oh, it's time to get up," said Dolly one bright morning as she jumped out of bed. She would have made the bed, but she looked down and there on the floor lay her red scarf. She picked it up and draped it around her neck. "This will go nicely with that new dress I got. How lovely," thought Dolly, as she started to go to the closet to find the dress. But before she did that, to her surprise, she became aware that she had left the light on in the pantry. "Let me turn off the light or I'll never be able to afford the bill. It's been on all night." As she rounded the corner, the sight of her kitchen startled her. "My goodness! Did I not put the coffee pot away? And those dishes in the sink need to be washed." Ignoring the pantry light, she turned her attention to the new situation before she set the table for breakfast. What would she eat? She was deep in thought. "Perhaps I'll have some juice. And scrambled eggs are tasty on toast." As the thought of eggs crossed her mind, she remembered the cake she was planning to bake to share with her neighbors. "I know I have flour, but do I have any eggs?" The best way to find out was to check. So she opened the refrigerator. As she opened the door, if there were any eggs, Dolly did not see them. She had forgotten to clean the refrigerator. "My golly," she shrieked. "This fridge is messy. Just look at all those veggies growing legs." Leaving the door open, Dolly went to her sink to get a sponge and some soap. But before she did that, she spotted her plant on the windowsill. "Oh, my poor Violet," Dolly said. "You are so thirsty. I'll go and fill the watering can and give you some water so you can pick up that drooping head of yours." And before she did that, "I bet the other houseplants need water too," she said. She peeked into the living room to see if those plants were okay, and she noticed her newspaper lying in the driveway outside. "Oh, there's the paper. I wonder what's in the news today," she said out loud. People who live alone often enjoy good conversations with themselves. Suddenly it came back to her that the refrigerator door was open, and she went and closed it, forgetting the reason she had opened it in the first place. She fussed with her hair, adjusted her scarf around her neck, and headed outside to collect the paper. Flossie, thinking it was time for a walk, stood behind the door wagging her tail. Daisy, her next-door neighbor, greeted her, and Dolly said, "Oh, hello, Daisy. How's your day?" "Wonderful, Dolly, in every way," came the cheerful reply. After they had chatted for a while, Daisy turned to go inside. "Gotta run. See you later," she said. It sure is a lovely day for taking a walk. I think I'll go down the street," Dolly said. She had not gone 10 steps when she quickly turned around and started back with a purposeful stride. "Why didn't I take Flossie with me?" She hurried back into the house so she could get her dog and continue her walk. As she opened the door, the phone was ringing. She picked up the receiver. "Hello?" Miss Dolly Dewitt, please. The voice sounded stern and unfriendly. Speaking, ventured Dolly timidly. Ma'am, this is a power company. Your payment is overdue for the 3rd month, and if we don't receive it by tomorrow afternoon, we will discontinue your service. Golly gee! It was one of her favorite expressions when she was in trouble. I'm sorry. I'll see the payment is made right away, promised Dolly. A chill came over her, and she began to tremble. That was only one of many things she had set out to do. Dolly felt ashamed of herself. How did she find herself in this improbable situation? When would she have the time to really take care of everything in her life? Why was she so distractible? Where would she get the help she felt she so desperately needed? She started going in one direction, then turned the other way and back, and before she knew it, she had made a complete circle in the kitchen. Oh, where was I? She asked herself in complete frustration. She sat down. It occurred to Dolly that her habit of not completing what she began was causing her enormous grief. I really need help. Maybe I should write these things down. She walked toward the bedroom where she kept her stationery. That's it. She would make a list. But before she did that, her bed, still unmade, seemed to beckon her, and a certain tiredness overcame Dolly. She lay down and took a nap. Dolly! Dolly! Her name was echoing through the room as she became aware of a stack of papers extending way above her head and leaning dangerously in her direction. Someone was calling her as if to warn her that she was about to be buried under the pile. Try as she did, she could not get out of the way. Papers were coming down left and right, and as she looked, she saw messages she had written to herself swirling all around her. Pick up the paper and the mail. Walk the dog. Wash the dishes. Turn off the pantry light. Clean the fridge. Bake the cake. Water the plants. Make the bed. Make the bed? She was back in the bed. She awoke with a start to find her little Flossie licking her face, pleading with her to be let out. My golly! Am I ever glad that was just a dream, she sighed with great relief. That was a close call. From now on, I am going to do better. Let me start with the list. There were still a few questions to be answered. How do you finish an improbable task? You begin with the end result in mind. You have to see the outcome, gather all the necessary materials, and plan ahead. As she wrote, she began to daydream. See the room tidy with the bed made. See the dishes washed, dried, and put away. See the plants watered. See the fridge cleaned with the door closed. See the coffee pot back in its place. The more she thought about it, the more sense it made to her. How do you finish? Make up your mind to do it. Make a decision. Take action. Begin. Focus on one task at a time. Do the first things first and stay on task. Yipes! Dolly exclaimed when it all started to fall into place. Did I need help? And imagine where I found it. I knew what to do all along. Now all I have to do is just get it done. Having made the to-do list, Dolly had something with which to chart her progress as she checked off each completed item. No longer will I put off what I begin. I am going to finish it before doing anything else. Let me start by paying my electric bill. She wrote the check and placed it in the mailbox, collected the paper, and went inside. Now, where was I? With her list in hand, she set about to complete everything she started, and then paused a minute to admire the very pleasant results. Then she said, "Come, Flossie, you and I are going for a walk." And she did. The end.